going live. Drum roll.
Still don't see it.
Well, now
There.
you should see it. There it is.
Oh,
Okay, so let's do this again. I mean, for you guys, it's the first time. I mean, what first time? Anyways, um, welcome to the first ever video live Seaside Talk. We've had another live one before, but it was on Twitter Spaces. So, if you're in here, you should be privileged because you are part of the first ever of something, which we hopefully will have more in the future as well. So, as I was asking Carol before we realized that we weren't live, uh, could you please tell the audience a little bit about what the Lighthouse is, since this is what we'll be talking about today?
sure. So the Lighthouse is a new IDO platform backed by Seascape Network. It's used to launch new projects and games. As you guys know, Seascape Network is a gaming platform. It specializes with blockchain gamings, DeFi, and NFTs. We've already released 4 mini games and with 2 others in development, all of those with one single partner, Peters and Sons. We are now ready. We've worked on a smart contract. We've worked on everything technically for being able to have now new partners and new projects. So this is basically what we're doing with the Lighthouse. So the first project for the Lighthouse is going to be Moonscape. It's a Moonbeam exclusive game, so you're only going to be able to play that on Moonbeam. The race is going to be done on Moon River, though the requirement checks is going to be on several chains. One of the unique points of the Lighthouse is that we are a multi-chain IDO platform. This is not really the case for many of the other IDO platforms, so this is something we're pretty proud about. If you have, let's say, some NFTs on ETH, some crowns or whatever other requirements on BSC, and want to participate in a Moon River chain raise, you can.
Awesome, amazing. And is there anything you can tell us about the token of the game, MSCP token?
Sure. MSCP. So MSCP token is going to be the one used for Moonscape. It is going to have a number of features. It's not just like a token you use for. You're going to have staking. You're going to have an entire DeFi aspect to the games in which you're going to be able to stake some of the tokens and or get it as rewards. There's going to be several pools for you to be able to use it, but it's not just a staking token, it's also a utility token as in the game. You will be, for example, able to use MSCP token to exchange it for Moondust. Moondust is an in-game currency that you can use to get some advantages. Things like faster harvesting speed for certain resources or building speeds, getting some things for your rovers, like getting more attack, defense, things like that. So you have basically 2 currencies. You have the token, which includes the whole DeFi aspect and try to get more Moondust, and Moondust itself, which will be used for the game, for basically the gameplay.
Yeah, awesome. And someone here asks, let me just put the question up on stream. So
Yeah.
Django Dylan asks, so the game won't be out until Moonbeam is working?
Correct. It's a Moonbeam exclusive game made in direct partnership with the Moonbeam Foundation, which is where we're using Moon River for the launch and Moonbeam for the actual game. It's exclusive to the chain. You could only find it here. This is something we're pretty excited about because the Moonbeam chain is going to allow us to first have very low gas fees, which is something a lot of the other games have been struggling with. But also, it's a very good chain with a lot of people and a lot of promises. And this was made in direct partnership with the Moonbeam Foundation. So something we're pretty excited about.
Great. By the way, if you guys have any more questions, just put them in, and then we can stop whatever we're talking, and we'll definitely get to you. So I actually want to talk a bit about the Lighthouse tier system and how it works. Should I do that, or do you want to go for it, Carol?
If you want, you go with it, and then I'll add some things. Probably.
Okay, sure, super. So I'm gonna put on screen the Lighthouse so you can see what I'm talking about. So we have from tier 0 to tier 3. So there's essentially 4 tiers, but the really important ones is start from tier 1 and onwards, because from tier 1 and onwards you actually can participate in the IDO. So I'd say tier 1. so these are the requirements: 0.1 rib, 100 CWS, 5 scapes, and buy one NFT from the Scape store. And real quickly on the Scape store, since I have it up anyways, it's a store that we made for you guys to trade your scapes with each other, and it is across every chain that we have. So it's BSC, ETH, and Moonriver as well. Okay, cool. So back to the Lighthouse. So yeah, tier 1. I think tier 1 is pretty achievable if you've just been playing some of our games. We've been, dispersing a bunch of CWS across Profit Circus, Staking Saloon, a bunch of ways for you guys to go and get these tokens. So if you've at least been following us for a while, you should have been able to get some of these requirements. I'd say tier 2 and 3, a little bit more hardcore, but if you're really, really interested in the project, then I really think you should go for it. Tier 2, you have to buy 10 NFTs from the Scape store, own three Gen 0 scapes. I know I did this one because I was holding on to my Gen Zeros thinking they were going to go up in price, but they never did. So eventually I was like, okay, well, at least they're useful now.
For me, they did increase in prices depending on the chain, though. But for me, they did increase. I didn't sell them.
I had them on Ethereum, which was like, man, Ethereum. Those fees, man. Like people did not like Ethereum. So
which BSC, is why again we excited.
BSC was huge when that
BSC,
came, and then Mover. Yeah.
Exactly. Completely. Mover now, a lot of activity on Mover, guys.
So yeah, 10 CWS Mover LP in CDEX. So the CDEX, let me pull the CDEX up 1 sec, guys, so you can see what we're on about here.
Yeah. So one thing special, Seascape is aiming to provide the best support infrastructure for traditional game developers, and that means we also made our own DEX, our own NFT marketplace, our own IDO platform. So and obviously we've had dozens of partnerships with everyone, which is why now we're very excited to have all this project come on board. So that what you're seeing now is basically our DEX. We are not focusing on getting farm pools, etc. for the CDEX right now. We will basically be adding all of these coins, the new project coins, onto the DEX as they come, so that there's at least a base liquidity kind of like everywhere.
Cool. So yeah, 10 CWS Mover LP is just, you have to go to the CDEX. Let me show it to you again. You have to go to the pool, add some liquidity, and then after you do that, you will get some LP tokens, and then this thing will tick. And one epic scape. Like I said, the Scape store, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, the Scape store right now has some crazy discounts. I mean, I picked up, I think, a legendary like last week for like next to nothing. So right now the Scape store is a pretty good bargain, if you ask me. And then there's the last tier, which you have to use the Scape store a bit more extensively. But if you did tier 2, which is a little hack I'm going to tell you exclusively on this podcast here, is that I actually bought my 10, and then I sold 10, and then I just bought 5. So I basically didn't really do all that much in terms of spending on the Scape store to get this one. One Lego Scape, like I said, not crazy expensive right now. And 5 Gen Zeros, also not too bad. And 1 rib. So, I mean, this is for the completely, if you're hardcore and you really want to get the best of the best, and, try to get in every single round of allotment. And here's a question for you, Carol. We have right now Adam asking, what's the relationship between MSCP and CWS?
The relationship between MSCP and CWS. So CWS is going to be the core pillar of the entire Seascape network platform. Every MSCP is going to be one of the tokens launched through the Lighthouse. And basically, I'm not going to say it's like ETH and DAI because they're not built on CWS yet. But if you were to have exchanges between the tokens, it's mostly always going to be through the CWS. So CWS is really going to be one of the core pillars, not only in terms of like investments for the Lighthouse and fitting some of these requirements, but also in some of the games and so on. You're always going to have CWS everywhere in the games, and you would have MSCP integrated into the ecosystem in a number of formats. So as we get more and more games, it's going to be more and more tokens. You'll always see a relationship with CWS as the co-pillar and some interaction with MSCP in some other games, but at least with CWS.
Yeah. And I think also one thing very important to note is that CWS is going to be like Crowns will be backing the like every Lighthouse project all the way. So whatever you guys put up in the IDO raise, Seascape will do the exact same in Crowns. So this is like a sort of a fail-safe measure if anything ever does go wrong, which it probably won't, and I can say that with a fair amount of confidence that it won't. But if it ever does, that's sort of, we've put that in place for you guys to at least have some sort of backing from us. So, yeah, we've covered the tier system. What else is left?
I have tier 3, but only win small tier 1 allocation. Will this reset my tier 3 or only tier 1? This will reset your tier 3. Basically, which is why then you're given like a choice. So let me explain a bit more about the tier thing, kind of like how it works, and then one of the most exciting features about Lighthouse, which is the auction pool. So let's say you are tier 3, okay? You got all the way up. You really go all in for the Lighthouse projects because we only go for good quality projects. We don't launch and forget. We're really going to integrate every single project. We sieve through everything. So basically, we are much higher quality project in general than other IDO launchpads. You love this, you're tier 3. Okay, congratulations. You register for a launch for an IDO. If you're tier 3, you're going to get into the round 1. The round 1 has the highest allotment. If you don't win it, then you just go to tier 2. Tier 2 is going to be all the tier 3s who didn't win and the tier 2. Round 2 is going to be all the tier 3, 2 who didn't win, and tier 1. If you win, let's say tier 1, 2, or 3, you're going to be given a fixed amount. You say yes or no to that amount. That's it. There's no like, I want half of that. It's like yes or no. If you win, great, but you do lose your tier. You lose your tier, you go back all the way up to the beginning. So that means you would need to make a decision. It's kind of like strategic. Do you want to lose your tier 3 for getting a tier 1 allocation? I still say yes personally, but it's up to you. So to answer that question, yes, you would lose your tier 3, you would lose the entirety, even if you only win a tier 1 allocation. But still, you get in, you have much more chances. You win into like much more rounds. Now, imagine one of the most exciting things is if you did not win any of the rounds, you're still in the race. You can still get something. And you actually, in this time, as opposed to any other IDO platform we sell there, you are guaranteed to be getting something. It's with the auction pool. Now, if you win an allotment and you say no, you're out. That's it. You're just out. If you win it and say yes, congratulations, you probably got the best deals. If you didn't win it, you get into the auction pool. That's what gets interesting. You are allowed to invest one time, and at the end of the auction pool, you will see how much you put compared to how much was raised in total for the auction pool, and then you're going to get a percentage, and you will get a percentage of the auction pool's tokens. Basically, for MSCP, let's say if it's 10%, and then you yourself have 1% of the auction pool, like you put 1% of the auction pool, then you're going to get 1% of 10%, 0.1. You would get basically 0.1. Let me get this right. You get 1% of 10%. You will be getting a percentage, and this is guaranteed. You participate, you spend, you get something. And that's very exciting. And then some people might say like, oh, what about if I don't get that many tokens? I'm going to say congratulations, because you got in some tokens that were really in demand, that were really, really, hyped. The problem here is you didn't put enough. Remember, you can only put once.
It's a good sign.
It's a good sign, basically. If you got like very few tokens, that means it's a really hyped project. Congratulations, you just got some IDO tokens that were really hyped. That should do well. The one thing is you didn't put enough. So remember, you can only invest once. So don't mess up and don't miss out.
Yep, and if you guys still do want more info on this, we've done a thread on Twitter. It has graphics, it has everything explaining everything we've just said, apart from this little tidbit about if you don't get that many tokens, don't panic. because it just means that the ones that you did get, everyone fought really, really hard for. So you came away with something. So I'm gonna put the tweet,
Also,
the thread in
one
the
thing
chat.
good. Last thing is, if you did get into the auction pool, guys, you keep your tier. So not only did you get those, but you can also participate into the next IDO. Also, as we go for IDO, from IDO to IDO, the requirements will change. But as long as you have a tier, you will keep your tier. Even if you don't meet the new requirements, you will still have your tier. So really for you, there's the auction pool, you get some IDO tokens, and you can just get on for the next one. Pretty exciting for the games.
So basically, you could just do these requirements now, have your tier, and then maybe participate in like the next whatever IDO you want to participate in.
If you want, yeah.
Okay, I see. And
someone asked, I claim tier 0, do I get some airdrop? That's not what you should be aiming for, like at all. Like this is an IDO platform, try to participate into the IDO. Like airdrops are not really gonna come. It's not like a regular thing you should be expecting or like counting on. I would say like really just, this is an IDO platform with much better quality projects and much better like thorough follow through. It's multi-chain, which is very exciting. And there's, you participate, you get something. So this is the major focus here. This is for people who really believe into blockchain gaming, or DeFi NFT more specifically, and who want to be sure to only get good projects and want to be sure to be getting in on it. It's less gambling, like some of the other IDO platforms, like really it's just like a lottery, and they just do like 20 projects a week. You don't know if they're going to be good. This is more kind of like good. It's going to work. It's going to be good. You can basically just get in on it. It's not a drop kind of thing.
We don't just launch anyone. Like our business model is not to make money from these launches. It's to grow these projects and to have them grow with us and support them and collaborate and all this stuff. Like we really want this play to earn thing to be huge for us. James Lees asked, do we participate with RIB or CWS? I think none, right? How do you... CWS? Is that how you deposit? Okay.
It depends on what he means. So right now, RIB is actually used for the tier requirements.
Yeah.
So in that case, you participate with RIB. But remember, CWS is the co-pillar. CWS is going to be the thing that you really want to own if you want to participate in the Seascape ecosystem. RIB will have more use cases. We are already working on something with RIB. It's something to do with, I'm not sure if I can say it, but yeah, we are working on something. There's going to be a lot of things with RIB. There's going to be, possibly a lot of games, NFTs. There's a lot of things, but CWS is really where you want to be participating in, let's say.
This one's a bit interesting. Yusuf asks, breeding mechanism of Moonbeam. What do users need to be able to breed their NFTs? How many do we have to hold? And what specific NFT should we have? A lot of questions here. Can same NFT be used multiple times for breeding or only once?
Well, it's rovers, so they can't really breed with one another. We actually take it on the opposite way. One of the very and most exciting things about Moonscape, guys, is like you can just get in without a wallet first. You are highly incentivized to be using the old DeFi aspects and the whole crypto aspects, but you could just like get in and just like play. You would have your rover, everything is in game. You will have NFTs which will have utilities within the games to be getting you better rewards, to be getting you better yields, stuff like that. You could also transform some of your in-game assets to NFTs. And if you don't have money, actually, that's how you could get started. You need some, blockchain. You will have blockchain fees. This is outside of us, but for us, you could literally just like start the game, start playing, build your city, build your rovers, make this into NFTs and sell them, and that's your initial capital, and then just like go again.
Yeah, you don't need to be in crypto to play this game. Like anyone can anyone can play this game. If they find it on the App Store and they want to play it, go for it. You don't have to know anything about blockchain to play it.
Well, we're not going to be on the App Store at first, but yes.
In the future.
In the future. But yeah, that's some of the very exciting things. As I said, you can start with just zero. You could start without any knowledge about crypto, but you are very highly incentivized to be getting in something. And you could even make money without having to spend at first. Though, obviously, still a DeFi game, the more you put. And in this case, really, the more you play, the more you earn. It's not just more money equals more. You do need to play. You do need to do a number of things. It's play to earn, not just stake and earn. In this thing, contrary to a lot of the other current NFT games, where you could just basically put money, you win. No. Here you need to play. You could start with as little as possible, though it is, the more money you have and the more you play, the more you earn. So this is some of the exciting things. So there's no breeding mechanism, but there is basically transforming of your in-game assets to NFTs. So you could just get more NFTs just through the playing. How many do we have to hold? And more specific, you don't have to hold any to start. Though it would be, you could buy some, as I said, to get head start. Basically, imagine two players. One person doesn't have any money. They start, they put the wallet, they play, get a city up, get some rovers up, and sell it to another player who wants to have a head start, who has more money. So then, he pays for this. So now player A just made some money, could redo the thing and get some, get into the DeFi aspect where he's going to be earning a lot more. And player B could already get a head start and immediately start with the DeFi aspect, where now both players are playing and earning. Now, the last part of the question, can same NFT be used multiple times for breeding? So again, no breeding, but you could, some of the NFTs would be used, some of the NFTs could be basically, your cities could be, re-put into the game.
I'm really excited about staking solution on BSC, and it is coming.
Yeah.
It is
coming.
It is coming.
It is changing. It is changing. I don't know if you guys saw Profit Circus changed.
Yeah.
We now have multiple. There's also going to be exciting changes on staking salon. So really hold on to your NFTs. It's not coming right now because we're focusing really on the Lighthouse, guys. And for the ones who saw you guys, we can finally take off the Binance NFT things. I think you know what that means. I think you know what that means when some of the next games are going to be. It's not out this week, but it's going to be coming very soon. So that's also why you could be using some of your things.
Exciting.
How can you describe Moonscape with 3 words?
That's go on then.
There's so many things. Fun DeFi game.
That's just a sentence.
It's 3 words. Fun DeFi game.
Yeah, it is.
It's a game. It's actually fun. So
yeah.
Contrary, again, a lot of the other NFT games right now is just kind of like card games.
It's just
really,
it's just like glorified DeFi mechanics, right? Whereas this is like you need to make a conscious decision to actually help you you make. Yeah. So here we have a question. So Moonscape will be on the App Store and we will be able to play on smartphones. So as I know, it is coming to smartphones. I don't know about the App Store though.
So it first is going to be on the browser. We're going to focus on browser. Mobile is very important, though might not be there at the very beginning, but it is. We're getting a lot of people on mobile. App Store, there's a whole technical side to it, but it's more about the App Store themselves. Will they, if we add crypto, they don't necessarily like the crypto gaining aspect. So it's more kind of like on the convincing them, or also App Store is really going to depend on the country then. So there needs to be a bunch of authorization, things like that. Smartphone, yes, probably a bit later. App Store is going to be a bit harder, though that is one of our goals, is to have not only just Moonscape, but Seascape in general be available on all devices, not only smartphone, not only PC, but that is a very future thing.
Yeah. So like I could just go to my smart fridge and just sort of be like, oh yeah, right, I forgot to scape in my to stake my scapes today, and I just open the browser on my fridge, and I can just open up staking solution.
Do you need to complete all tasks in every tier to complete tier 3? Yes, those are all needed. You can't just do like 2 out of 3.
Is there a vesting period for the IDO? Or do you just get your tokens?
A vesting period for the IDO. So yes, first, another exciting feature, we have a lot of exciting features, is when you get into the IDO, you're actually going to get an NFT. The TGE is going to be a bit after the IDO. You're going to be getting an NFT in between the TGE and that. And you're going to be able to do several things with the NFTs. One is just redeem it for the token. Another one is going to be able to stake and earn more tokens. You could also burn your NFT to be getting your money back. Basically, as we said, it's backed by crowns, meaning that you could be getting back some of your money for the project, which is why, again, we only put project we believe in, because it's project we would be ready to put something for. And lastly, you could actually just burn your NFT to be getting a chance to be getting to be getting a random allotment for the next project. So you want a random allotment, but you love the next project, burn your previous project NFT and get something for the next one.
How many IDOs are we going to hold in November?
In November 1. So we how many in November? We start. As we said, we only have good quality projects. Here, exactly. Our goal is not to have 20 IDOs per week. We will be ramping up, but we'd rather start with one IDO, one really good project we're sure about. We're sure you're going to profit, you're going to love playing, it's going to be a good success. And Moonscape is just that, is you should get in on it because it is just one of the best things to start with. And then the next one, and then we're going to do one more, and then one more, and then maybe two, and then two, and three, and then we're going to ramp up. We already have a lot of people who said, yes, we already know the project we're going to put out for the next couple of IDOs, but we will do them one by one at first. Then we will slowly ramp up. And at the end, remember, guys, Seascape is a platform, so we need as many games as possible, but we need only good games. And also that means we need to have much thorough follow through with this project. As I said, we don't launch and forget. So we're setting up all the processes. We're gonna expand. We're gonna get more people on board. And once we get better, it's gonna be. But we start with one, then there's gonna be another one, and then another, etc.
Will there be a beta version of the game available for IDO participants?
Yes, there's going to be a closed beta for some of the people who, they need to have participated to the IDO, and there will be a closed beta. And they might not be open to everyone. We will need to, talk to you guys. We will have a couple of requirements, but there will be a closed beta for you guys.
One of the most important things for investors is not to incur losses. What are the measures you take for this? For example, do you have a security certificate? So I think for backing our, public sale like IDO investors, we are putting like a 1-to-1 ratio of CWS into the pool as well. So if at any point you want to get out, you can just get your money back.
It's one, obviously, if you get it after, it's the amount is going to change. But yes, as I said, not incur losses. One, that's why we don't do many IDOs. That's why we don't do 20 projects, is because we only do high quality ones that we share about. Two, as Law said, you will be able to burn the NFT to kind of get back your amount. So like this, you do not incur losses. And also, again, we just launch things that are going to have that we know are going to be really, really good. You would also have several ways of earning after that. So you could, as I said, stake the NFT, redeem them to be staking them somewhere else, and as such, be getting something.
Will NFTs from other games be used in Moonscape? Will the APR rate be different for everyone in the game? I don't know what the last question means.
APR, it's the profit circus.
So I guess the question is does the APR rate depend on how well your city is built? Like if you do a really good job in making a really good city, then you can make more APR, right?
Exactly. That's exactly how the game works. So you need to be getting better cities. You need to have commanders which are best for your building. You have a certain number of buildings all of the buildings give you in-game benefits and DeFi benefits. You need to have the good buildings for what you want to do. You need to upgrade them. You need to have the best commander for that building. You could even, depending on a lot of the different components, you will have different APR. Yes. Also, as some of the pools, as more and more people get into the pools, obviously the API is going to change. But now another exciting thing is interactability. You will be able to play with other players and benefit from their APR. If they're your friend, just got on, you help them, and you will be able to also get something DeFi wise for that.
Or you could just fight them and just take their stuff.
Take the in-game resources, not the DeFi stuff. So you will not be losing money by people attacking you. And also, you cannot conquer cities. Before anyone asks, you cannot conquer cities. You cannot really destroy other cities. You will destroy them in the game. Yours, not theirs.
Yeah, of course.
It's your city. Yeah,
of course.
But what I mean is, like, you're not gonna go and build a city up, and people are gonna come and destroy it, because that would, be pretty annoying. Let's say
it'd be a very bad game if that happened. Yeah. I think I would rage quit if
that happens in a lot of other games. It's just that in this part, it's DeFi game, so it's a bit more at stake.
In other games, I don't really have a lot of money up for play. What kind of KYC / requirements done on project founders who want to launch on Lighthouse?
Kind of KYC requirements done on project founders who want to launch on Lighthouse. There's a lot of requirements, but it also depends on the project. We will have calls. Obviously, we're going to have some calls with you. So KYC, obviously. We want to see anything that you have, from light paper to pitch deck to the state of the game, a website if you have. We want to start seeing possibly some of the codes. We're going to have several follow through like calls. We're going to try to get as much information as we can, though it's really project dependent. Projects are in different stages of development. Also for us, it's the people who are going to come there don't necessarily have the crypto thing. We are giving the best support for traditional game developers, guys. So they might not necessarily have a light paper at first. We would, on the contrary, help them to do that light paper, but we would see that they do have good games, and they do have, it's a good team, and etc. So this is very highly dependent on the type of team, type of people also that approach us, because even just different countries have different habits. We would talk to some people from, for example, let's say we talk to some people from Japan or from the US. They're not necessarily gonna present things in the same way. The traditional things for them to do in the gaming world is not the same. Crypto is actually fairly interesting, and that it's very homogeneous in some of the way we approach things, but the traditional markets don't always do the same thing per country. So there's a lot of things that needs to be put in place.
Do we plan something like Binance mystery boxes for Moonscape, and will Moonscape have in-game NFTs at all?
Moonscape will have NFTs. Like they will be NFTs, just like I said before, commanders. Yep. Commanders are actually NFTs that you need to build for your buildings, and there's going to be best ones for this building. You would also have NFTs for your cities and rovers. You could actually just build up your city all in game, all things entirely in game. You build it up. You don't spend $1. You transform it into an NFT and sell it. Now, obviously, the transforming NFT and selling is on the blockchain, so you do have the blockchain fees, but that's not
really up to us. Yeah, we don't really decide that.
Also, Moonbeam is very, very low gas fee, so really it's less than $1.
Okay, so this is a very topical questions, and I'm seeing this everywhere on Twitter nowadays, man. The metaverse, right? So where do you see yourself in the NFT and the metaverse, which universe? So just the metaverse. In which sector will the majority of your investment be in the coming years? This one's interesting. I don't think I've really thought about where do we really fit in the metaverse. Do you have anything?
So metaverse, first, there's many metaverses. The good part is that we're a platform, so really we could just have NFTs from everywhere, but that is not our core focus. Our core focus is bringing actual utility NFTs, DeFi aspects, and launching new games. Some people have even asked us if we will launch a metaverse project in the future. That is a possibility if it's if there's a good project, if there's a really good project for metaverse. We're not close to the idea, but our focus right now is providing support, a technical support infrastructure for game developers, and to really be getting the best project and the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
So NFT, we want to bring utility NFTs. Metaverse, we actually really love the idea. It's just it's an entirely different concept.
But we're open to it.
When I look at the state, we're open to it. When I see the state of the market, and if that is entirely something that is possible, but I'm not going to say yes, we'll have it next month. No. That is not one of the core focuses right now, but that is something that we're very, open to and could do in the future. It would depend basically on who approaches us. If you guys have a good metaverse idea, have a solid team, have good relations, or have something, just propose.
Yeah. So if you know anyone, just get them to send us a message and we can talk about it.
Yeah. Which sector? So with majority of our investment, gaming. We are gaming for blockchain, DeFi, NFT. So we're going to focus mostly on these things.
Yeah. No worries. Thanks for answering. No worries.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks,
one
Khalid.
thing that people, since we can get so caught up in, this game is launching and this platform's launching, and I think a lot of people forget, and maybe they actually don't even know what the overarching objective of Seascape is, right? So if any of you know Steam, Origin, Epic Game Store, like all of these stores, it's like they have their own platforms and ecosystems, and what is it called on Steam? It's called Steam Green or something like very similar to this, where it's like they have indie developers come in and they can launch on there, and then if people like it, they can So that's the sort of thing that we aim to do long term, right? So if you think about it, our plan to maturity is like, it's not here. Like, it goes so much
green
deeper.
Light, yes.
Yeah, green light. Yeah, it goes so much deeper than this, right? So that's one thing to note. Like, the ultimate plan is to have a platform and just launch good games on the platform.
Yeah, and help them. Basically, it's about, as I said, providing the best support. So that means from ideation to help them raise, develop, and launch, or it could be even like develop, launch, and then raise after. Then market it out, network, do all of these things. Like I said, we're not just launch and forget. What the Lighthouse is to help us raise and get more projects on the platform. So our overarching goal is just getting is increasing the adoption of games with blockchain, DeFi, NFT. I don't just want to call it blockchain games, because that's kind of like just very small aspect of it. Also, it's kind of not saying much, but we want to have the best game. We want to make it as easy as possible for traditional game developers to come onto the entire crypto thing, onto the entire blockchain, ads, NFTs. You've got a good project, a good IPs, you come in, you use Seascape, you use SDKs, you put whatever you want, you choose the device, you choose the chain, and then you come on board. So we want to really foster adoption of crypto gaming, of blockchain gaming. Make it easy. Also, we want to make it seamless. Right now, the focus is more on the traditional game developers. Later on, it will be on the users. We want to make it super easy for users to just like come on board and be able to play and earn. We do not like right now what's happening with a lot of the gaming world. A lot of things we see is not something that we want to put forward. We don't like the current system. We want to change it. Rather than pay to win, play to earn is much better, we think. Like a redistribution of wealth across the entire ecosystem, rather than just the publisher getting rich, the shareholders of the publishers getting rich, and then creativity getting out the window.
And for you, Kea, this person's from Turkey, and they're asking if we'll have any special events for Turkish followers, and all I can say is join us on Telegram on the Turkish community, and find out.
Yeah, we have a Turkish community, so we already have events actually for Turkey that's coming up. I was just proposed some things, I think, yesterday again, to be doing something more for the Turkish. So we will be expanding upon the communities. Right now, guys, we have 9 communities. Thousands of people in each community, and even like dozens of thousands, even 100,000 on Twitter. We will be doing more things also. For those, if you love Seascape, if you want to get more events, do special events for Turkey or for others, we have what we call the Sea Lion programs. Can you maybe show that? No. The Sea Lion programs is for Seascape ambassadors, and one of the part of the program is about helping us make more of this. Right now, our team is still fairly limited, guys. We're not like a huge corporation. We play to earn, so we're giving back the money. Any kind of money we have, we just like give back. So we're not still a huge team. So we need your help, guys. We need your help to try to expand, to try to be doing better, to help us see that future to fruition. And the Sea Lion program is exactly that. Is about ambassadors. It's not like it's not like get some money and chill kind of thing. We really want you guys to get involved. You will get some benefits and perks, obviously, and you could help us make these events for the Turkish community or even the global community. You could help us translate. You could help us make more content, make events. You could help us get feedback, guides, just talk in the communities and answer some questions. Basically, do everything. So, are we going to have special events? Yes. If you want to see more, join the Sea Lion programs and we'll make more together.
What is the main net you aim for? BSC, ETH, or Moonbeam? You know, I think people have this perception that we favor one over other. We don't. We love each one individually, and we try to put out for each as much as we can, and also according to demand.
Yeah, and also we are trying to gonna be more cross-chain in the future. Our game is to our goal is to be more cross-chain, also to make that cross-chain thing a bit more seamless in the future for the users.
Great. So we've been on for 43 minutes. If you guys have any more questions, this is it. I think we'll answer 2 or 3 more, and then I'm also ready to go.
Yeah.
If not,
can
you link
you
the
link
sea?
that?
Yes, I can.
Yes, of course you can.
So here it is.
Also, not only, I said, we're also going to help translate. So guys, we have 9 communities. If you want to help us launch a new one, a Filipino one, a Vietnam one or something, just like apply, go over there and apply. Medium, Seascape. You could even send, like we have the form. Let me.
The form?
What guys? On the website. Let me send it. There. If you go on the website itself, there we have the form. You could just apply in there and just tell us like, hey, I love Seascape. I'd like to participate. You'll also be able to have access to like some private information. Help us do more podcasts like that. Open new communities. Translate things. Give us feedback. Do more events. Things like that.
If there's enough interest, we could do like a different language podcast. Like we have like our Turkish community is huge. So if you want to host a podcast in the future, you could.
Absolutely. Now, I think that'll be it. So for us, there's still a lot more to talk about. Also, guys, I know it's a bit strange, but we have a habit of not hyping. We always follow through on what we say. We're more like a technical product-based team where you get things out. We don't do vaporware, so you're not going to see us hype stuff in the future like other projects. It's not going to be like, hey, we're going to have like X, Y, and Z in like 1 year, and then 1 year later you don't see anything or stuff like that. It's like we put out. For those who followed us from the beginning, you saw we already have a lot of things that were released. And actually, we do a lot more than you guys don't know back in the back, because we're trying to provide this entire support infrastructure. That's a lot of work, but we've been progressing quite well on that front. But now that we have the Lighthouse, we're going to be doing a bit more on the marketing, etc. That's why you could start helping us, and that's why we can also get more excited.
Yep, we put our money where our mouth is, basically.
Yeah,
we don't really talk vapor,
Yeah.
Cool. If there's no more questions, I think we'll end it here. If you guys want to see more podcasts, let us know. Also on Twitter, make sure you follow us. Make sure you retweet, like all this stuff. Your success is ours. We're doing this together. And thanks for tuning in. See you on the next Seaside Talk.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.